What is going on, guys? Arcade here with a new series for you all to try out. This series is called The Problem, where you can basically just put then insert a video game's name, and then problems, so we can talk about what it is that those games have that are the issue. It's kind of similar to what went wrong, but what went wrong is more so about, the entire span of a game and what the issues were with that game. With this series, I'm talking about, just what the biggest issue is and how to fix it, in my opinion, going forward. So with today's inaugural video for this series, what's the Overwatch problem? So Overwatch is still, at this day and age, a very popular game. Is one of the most played shooters on all platforms, but in my opinion, as popular as Overwatch is, and how popular as it's stayed throughout the years, I still feel like there's a lot about Overwatch that isn't very good and that could have been improved a long time ago. Maybe it's too late to improve upon it now. And when it comes to talk about Overwatch's improvements and what the game lacks, its community gets very toxic about how the game is criticized. Think of Overwatch, kind of like the Dark Souls community. In Dark Souls community, if you criticize Dark Souls, the most common thing that comes up is get good. Same thing happens with Overwatch. When you criticize Overwatch, their fan base ignores everything that you're saying, no matter how right or wrong it is that you're saying. It just goes to, you probably aren't very good at the game, which is also in general a very common criticism towards anyone who gives negative feedback towards any kind of video game. Is always, you just aren't that good. People ignore the fact that you're probably very good at the game. So when it comes to my opinion of Overwatch, I generally think it's a good game. However, I do think balancing wise, there's a lot of issues with the game. Consistency wise, there's a lot of inconsistencies in the game. And then there's also just, to me, Overwatch is just a hero version of Call of Duty, in terms of the game doesn't actually take skill, but if you're good at the game, it shows in the gameplay that how much better you are than someone else, in terms of you just being good at video games, not just because the game don't require skill. So, and it's similar to like Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a game where everybody who plays that game has a chance of having a good game. So you might have a good game in this one match, then the next game you might do terrible, then the next game you do good again. That's the kind of game that Call of Duty is. It's the same thing with Overwatch. Overwatch, you can have one game where you're just dominating, then the next game your character that you just played last game just seems like it's not doing the exact same thing it was doing beforehand. So because of that, because of the inconsistencies with how the game performs and how everyone can pick up and play Overwatch and one can pick up and play Call of Duty, I say it doesn't take skill, because to me, skill requiring games like Halo, something like Siege, something like Gears of War, something like those games where you can't just pick up those games and start playing them, because if you do, you're going to get dominated. But Overwatch, Call of Duty, you can stop playing Overwatch for months, come back and dominate. You can stop playing Call of Duty for months, come back and dominate. If you stop playing Siege for months and come back, you're going to get shitted on. So that's what my idea of lacking skill when it comes to a shooter. So the other issue that I have in Overwatch is the time for going idle. A lot of games, if you go idle, you get maybe 20 seconds to come back, maybe a minute. Some games is kind of inconsistent, like GTA is very inconsistent. GTA, you can be gone for 2 minutes, you can be gone for 13 minutes, and then the game will still keep you in, or you can be gone for 1 minute and the game will kick you out. Overwatch is probably the worst game when it comes to being idle. You can be in the little lobby session, wait for a game to start, go take a piss and come back, you're kicked out. Like, it's seconds. It's not a minute. It's seconds. I don't know the exact time before they kick you out of a game, but it's literally seconds. And I remember there was one game where it didn't even start yet. So I'm texting on my phone before the game starts. By the time I'm done texting, it's like, you have this amount of time before you're kicked out. And I'm like, that's crazy, because the game just started. And I just sent a text. It's not even like a paragraph text. It's like literally one sentence, and I'm already about to get kicked out for being idle from the game. So they need to fix that. So the other thing about Overwatch that, what the problem is with the game is balance. They're always nerfing and buffing people in Overwatch. And when they don't seem to nerf or buff who actually needs nerfs and buffs. Mercy has been nerfed into the grave, but she's still kind of playable. Reaper's constantly getting buffed. And then you have people like Bastion, who just doesn't get touched. And Bastion to me is one of those characters, just kind of like Soldier 76, where if there's any characters in Overwatch that shows how little skill the game takes, it's those two characters. Bastion and 76 literally show you just how much skill the game lacks. Now that doesn't mean that's how it is for everybody. It takes skill to be a good Hanzo. It takes skill to be a good Genji. As irritating as it is to see Genji or Hanzo on your team, because most people are terrible with those characters take an immense amount of skill to perfect, to get them right, to get them playing to a high performance on a consistent basis. The same thing can be said for people like Pharah. If you're a bad Pharah, it's going to show. But if you're a good Pharah, you are going to dominate that game. Bastion and 76, you don't have to be good or bad. You just pick them and they do it for you. And it's kind of the same thing with Mei, and it's kind of the same thing when it comes to McCree. I know McCree is a very popular character, so a lot of people who play McCree probably feel some kind of way by me saying he doesn't take skill to play. But let's be honest, his ult is a guaranteed kill. Then you literally have a character who could throw a stun grenade and get a free shot on you. And then it takes like what 1-2 shots to the head with McCree to kill somebody. So if you throw a stun grenade, you got a guaranteed kill. And I have a very controversial opinion when it comes to stunning people and then getting a kill off that isn't skill. That's not anything skill when it comes to that. It's a free kill. You're fighting someone who can't fight back. So McCree, 76, Bastion, made to a lower extent. She's not a very strong character, so it's not very noticeable. But those characters to me just don't take skill, and those also happen to be very popular characters. Coincidentally, the people who take the most skill aren't the ones being played. And even though you will see a lot of Hanzo mains, you will see a lot of Genji mains, you will see a lot of Widow mains, those characters take skill. But when you see those people on your team, on the other team, chances are those players are going to be terrible with those characters, and you get a free win. So what I think that Overwatch could do is work on balancing the game out more, fix the timing for being idle. If someone's being idle for a few seconds, that shouldn't be a big deal. A minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that's at that point someone's gone for 2 minutes, kick them out the game. But a few seconds, that's crazy. When it comes to the community in the game, obviously every gaming community has a very toxic community. People talk about how toxic Overwatch community is compared to Siege community, compared to Call of Duty community. All these communities in gaming has a very toxic crowd. You put yourself into that situation when it comes there. So when it comes to the community, what the community can do to improve the game themselves, because when it comes to a game getting good, to a game being better, we as the gamers of those games have to step up and be accountable for what we do to those games and how we approach those games. So what I would say to the community of Overwatch, as an Overwatch player myself, we need to be better when it comes to how we treat each other, but also need to be better on how we pick operators. Well, not operators, but heroes. Because if you know for a fact that you're not good with someone, don't pick them. If you know for a fact that you're not good with Hanzo, don't play Hanzo. If you know for a fact you're not good with Widow, don't pick Widow. And when it comes to team composition, team balance, to having a good team, even if you're not in a party with someone, if you're playing by yourself, look at who your teams are picking and pick based off of that. Don't just you're guaranteed to lose if you're just picking people at random, if you're switching at random, if you're just not being consistent with how you're picking your characters and how they based on your team's picks. If your team has a Zarya and you have no combo with Zarya, you're going to lose. So as a community, we need to be smart about how we pick people in the game, as well as how we play the game ourselves. Stop being toxic. Even if you're by yourself, be communicative. Do call outs if you see people aren't in the game chat. If you feel people aren't in the party, maybe hit them up with a message saying, hey, can I get an invite to your party? If you're a solo player, the best thing you can do to find friends is just be a good player. Be a communicative player and try to get people to want to hang out with you, to want to talk to you, want to invite you. We ourselves have to end the toxicity in gaming. We can't do that by just saying, oh, the game's toxic, it's the developer's fault. No, they have no input on how toxic their game is. It's all on us as the gamers to fix that. And Overwatch is up there as one of the most toxic games in gaming, and that can all change by us being accountable for what we say in games and how we treat people. If you see someone who's being terrible with Genji, don't be like, hey dude, you're trash. Just be like, hey, I know you want to learn that character, but would you mind switching to Moira or Mercy or Junk Rider? And they're just we need this character, not that character. Maybe you do better with this character instead of Genji, because you're not doing very good on at this moment. So just be nice about how you tell someone that they're not playing the character correctly. But with all that said, guys, this video, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoy. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.